Hey, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. Welcome to Breakthrough Walls. I'm doing a special edition today, and I am so excited for you guys to meet my new friend, Esther. She is an amazing woman. You're about to find out. I want to welcome Esther Wildenberg to the show. Esther, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Ken. Awesome.
I'm so excited to have you here. So, Esther, I met you last week. Was it last week or the week before?
Last week, I think.
Was it last week? The days are running fast and running together. How about for you?
One long day.
No, Groundhog Day every day, right?
Yeah.
So you are out in beautiful Laguna Beach, California.
Mhm.
And I mean beautiful. Y'all ought to see her view. Holy moly. So, but you know, we met last week. I interviewed your wife, Sherry Tree, on here. And I mean, I just can't wait to hear your story. So this show, I created this to help people break through that are stuck in life, right? So I think by having people on that share their story, it helps people. I truly believe that. So I want you to help a lot of people today with your story. Let's start with where you were born and raised. And by the way, I have Chuck has already shared this out. Thank you in advance to everyone who shares this out. You rock. So Esther, let's start with where you were born and raised.
Let's start at the beginning, right?
Let's start at the beginning.
I was born in The Hague in the Netherlands. I'm originally from the Netherlands, and I was born as one of an identical twin. So I have an identical twin sister, and we grew up in The Hague. And a few years later came my younger sister, and grew up in a family, like an average family. We were not poor, not broke. We had a nice life, but not like the rich and the wealthy. But we actually had a lot of great things. And from a perspective of having a roof above your head and food and vacations and sports and, a lot of great things. But from a growing up perspective, it was not always great. Challenges start in every phase. They start at a young age, right? We don't realize them until we get older. But I realized looking back that being an identical twin was really tough. And people will say that it's like, oh, it's so amazing and it's so fun.
Yeah.
And when you're one, I really found it very challenging to have not my own identity. So I was always one of two, and it was always, how are you both doing? Like, it was never, how are you doing? And people didn't know if I was Esther or Nicole. Like, hey, Vicky. And it's just like, it's like, okay. And then they're always comparing, like, who's better at this, who's better at that. And it really disturbed my identity as a child. And it was kind of challenging, right? You're in it as a child, and then you get older, and then you realize when you can break free from that, when you go both to different universities by the age of 17, that our lives really changed, and we started to grow our own personalities.
Wow. My brother is married to an identical twin, and then they had identical twin daughters. My nieces are identical twins. So I know what you're talking about. I've kind of heard some of that. So when you went to university, where did you end up going?
I went to Amsterdam to the University of Dentistry.
Oh, okay. For what?
Dentistry.
So you're a dentist?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, and I hated it.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I did. When you're a teenager and like a young adult, who the hell, you don't know what you want to do in life, right? Having an identity crisis as a teenager, and growing up with a family with a dad who was not very supportive to us at all. Like never anything was good enough in what we did. So we were very suppressed, and my self-esteem was low, and I didn't know what to do. And our neighbors were dentists and dental hygienists. And so now they said, you will be great at this. And I thought, okay, I guess I should be in the dentistry industry.
Wow.
I ended up there, the freaking nightmare. And as a teenager, I was like not in a great place. I went to a Catholic high school, although I'm not Catholic. I was not raised Catholic, but I went to a Catholic high school, and we all know what happens in the Catholic Church. So
Yeah.
it was really bad. I was actually raped every Friday afternoon by the director of my high school.
No way.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
yeah,
Oh my gosh. Are you freaking kidding me? Holy
yeah,
crap.
yeah. He abused me, and yeah, Friday afternoons. It was like it
That
was bad.
that caught me off guard. Wow. Holy crap. So wow. How did you get through that? Because apparently you have.
It took a long time because you're a teenager, and then of course they tell you don't talk about it. It was a secret, and he called it a relationship, and it was like very weird situation. And in at that phase you don't know what you don't know, and I didn't know where to go because my parents, I didn't feel that I could go there with it, and your friends, like, what are they gonna say? And then so it was a big secret for most of my life.
Oh my
Only
God.
few people really actually know it. And past year I started to talk about it because I think it has to come to the surface.
Yeah.
Women have to start talking about it because it's not I don't need any empathy around it. I'm totally fine. But it took me a long time. Actually, it took me all the way to the age of, I think, 25, until I was like, I'm done with that. But it had an impact. I had a lot of boyfriends, and I had no issues in any area. But it has an impact on, you're very sensitive to manipulation and how you get treated.
Yeah.
And, I was a dentist and I hated it. So that was, of course, not really inspiring every day to be in this mouth. I'm a people person. So as a dentist, you put your fingers in their mouth, and then, like, at the end of the conversation, right? It's like,
right.
It is not a fun job. And then I realized the number one occupation for suicide, the highest suicide rate, is under dentists.
Jeez. Yeah.
And I
Heard
felt
that.
like, no, I have to get out of here. Like, and so I was very clear and speaking of, like, I want to get out of this. I don't want this anymore. And I was like, to the universe, please save me from this. I want something else. And of course, if you're not specific, you get it in a way that is not always the prettiest. So at the age of 23, I ended up in a really bad accident with two motorcycles who hit me on my bicycle from behind. And I was in an accident, and it was kind of painful and bad. But I had not that much damage on the outside, interestingly. But they sent me home after one day and said, just recover. But I didn't feel well. And I went back to the hospital, and they said, there's nothing wrong. It's between your ears. And I went back again, and that was 5 times in a row. And then I was like, guys, there's really something wrong. Like, I don't know what it is, but I cannot breathe. And I played sports like 5 times a week. I had a very healthy body.
Yeah.
And I said, I don't feel well. And they said, yeah, it's stress. It's anxiety. And I said, it's not stress. It's not anxiety. There is something wrong in my body. And they just kept sending me home. And so one night I passed out in my home, and my girlfriend at the time called an ambulance, rushed me to the hospital. And at that point, they just rushed me into an MRI scan to figure out what's happening, because this woman is coming back to our hospital and we need to know what's going on. And then I came out of that scan, and there were like 8 doctors around me.
Wow.
And the thing is, they were looking at me, staring at me, and rushing around. And, and I said, can anybody tell me what's happening here? And they said, yeah, you have 38 blood clots in your body, in your lungs, your heart close to your brain, your legs, your tummy. You're full of, like, danger bombs ready to blow off. So they rushed me to the ICU, put me on blood thinners, heparin, and, locked me down, like, don't move.
Wow.
So, yeah, I was there for a few weeks. And my sister lived in the United States back in the day. She worked for Disney. And my mom was in Switzerland with her husband, who had surgery in Switzerland. So like everybody was like rushed back to The Hague. And they were not sure if I was going to make it. Actually, they told my family she's probably not going to make it. And so I survived, obviously, because I'm here. But I went through this very dark place. I had two near-death experiences that actually opened my eyes of my life purpose, and that I had to come back because I didn't want to come back. When I went to the other side, for, oh my gosh, this is like peace, this is heaven, I want to stay here. And they just sent me back. No, you have a bigger purpose in this lifetime. You have to go back. You have to have a message, and people have to hear your story, and you will find out along the way what it's going to be. And I came back and then was for months in the hospital, and then I went home and had to recover. And it took me 3 years to get back to working full time and exercising again and being in a wheelchair because I was so weak. I couldn't walk, and I had people taking care of me. And also I lost my job, my friends, my sports, and going out and having fun. I was literally locked in my home for 3 years. It was like, oh my gosh, and you get really faced with everything you are. Like, I had very dark moments, but I also started to read a lot of books and personal development, and a lot of things I started to study and learn to get out of it. And I had to go for rehab and exercise every day to get stronger and better. But it took me 3 years. And at the age of 23 to 26, it's like this blooming phase of your life where you should go party and have fun and build your life and your career and your relationship. And it was really, 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 really tough. Yeah.
So I have a couple questions.
Yeah.
Like, wow. That's crazy. I just talked to my dentist last night. He's one of my dear friends. And I know a lot of dentists, actually. So, and I know some that are dentists that don't like being dentists, actually. And it's like, dude, you spent $300,000 on an education for something you hate. Like, ugh. So what, and going to university, and this was in Amsterdam, you went to dental school. Did you have to pay for that, or how's the education system? I know some places like, no, college is free in this country. I don't know how it works.
No, there's nothing free.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
I pay for it, and I worked to pay for it, and I played sports 5 times a week. I worked twice a week, and then the rest of my time was for my study. Yeah, it was crazy. And I really didn't like it. Like, my first year, I already hated it. And then the professors told me, you're really good at it. You're really amazing. And, I'm not a quitter. So I decided, okay, I'm just going to finish this crap and then I will figure it out. But, and I went through it real fast. Like, I wanted to be done as fast as possible.
Yeah.
So I got out of it and I started working, and I was miserable, like really miserable.
Oh my God. And so okay, huge life lesson right here. Like, because I love the fact that you discovered I'm miserable. Right?
I was really miserable.
I'm not staying in this. Larry Schneider, I guess, right?
Hi, Larry. Thank you for watching.
So you discover, you're like, I'm not staying. I'm leaving this. This is ridiculous.
I was really just saying it out loud to the universe and God and angels and guides. I got them all collected there. Guys, out of here. Give me something better. And so I was not specific. So they just gave me my nice accident, and to really find out who I am and what I wanted to do in my life. And so people say all the time, oh, I feel so sorry for you that it happened to you. And I always tell them, it's the best thing that happened to me. It sucked at the time. It was painful. And I was wearing body stockings for 8 years.
Wow.
From head to toe. Like, it was like crazy. Blood thinners, lifetime long. I couldn't do a lot of things anymore. I cannot do any contact sports. So I can only do and I like really team sports, and I like to bump into people, but that's that's off the table for many years now. So
wow. So you, let me ask you this: when you were in the middle of that, how much time did you spend feeling sorry for yourself? Did you go there? Did you get depressed and have that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went there because I already, as a teenager, I was in this dark place, and I got out of it.
Yeah.
By the age of, when I went to Amsterdam, and I started a new phase in my life. So I got out, but never all the way. Yeah. Because I started also something I didn't like. Like, it was like the dumbest thing. Like, you just follow sometimes, what your parents want you to do. Like, actually the dumbest thing. And then I realized when I got older, looking at my friends, literally only one of my friends is a vet, and she's still a vet, but everybody else is doing something totally different than what they studied for. So they've mastered degrees and anything, but they just are far away from that at all. So, you just do things. What do you know when you're like 17, 18, 19? You think you know it all, but actually you don't. So you just do something to get a piece of paper, and nobody ever asked again about it. But I just did it. And I was miserable already before my accident. And during my recovery, I was in the beginning very miserable. And at the same time, I was very happy. I fell in love with my first girlfriend 2 weeks before the accident. So I was just in love, totally happy and excited. Just nobody knew I had a girlfriend, because now I had to come out of the closet, and that's a whole whole other game that I had to play. And so I was in the hospital, and my girlfriend came every day, and everybody asked, "Who is that girl? Like, why is she here every day?" Wow. So when I was at the ICU, I came out of the closet to tell my family that they're not going to kill me right here, because they're happy I'm still alive, right? So I thought I'd just bring it up at the ICU, and
You said they're not going to kill me right here.
No. So, and the funny thing is, my twin sister came out of the closet a few years before me. She had a girlfriend.
Wow.
Family totally responded totally fine. Like, I thought, okay, so if I tell, it will be. But that was not the case. They thought my mom said, it's not you two. And my dad didn't like it. And I had a struggle with it, that they didn't like it. And they always knew for my sister, but they never saw this coming for me. And so, but also it was not worth arguing at an ICU and in the hospital about that. But as soon as I was home, the argument started about it.
Oh my gosh.
I was in love and I was happy, actually. Yeah. So it was tough because, everybody goes to work or studies. I was days home alone, literally by myself, until I got a puppy, a little dog. I had to take care of her and walk her in. Was my little buddy. And so, and I started to study and learn and read personal development books and spiritual books, and really get connected to who am I, what do I want to do, and rebuild my life.
So, and when you said you went home, you got out of the hospital, was that home to your parents' home?
No, my own home.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, I left my parents' home.
Yeah. Well, so but you're a doctor, right? I mean, you're a doctor of dentistry.
Yeah, officially I'm not, right? Because I am not a dentist for the past 20 years. So.
Well, but you were back then, I mean.
Back in the day, I was somebody.
Yeah, show everybody that view you have. They'll realize who you are. So you, like, huh?
You have to earn it. I have to keep watching.
Yes, maybe at the end, if you stay to the end, she will show you the most unbelievable view you've seen in a long time. So you went through, you started doing all this self-development then, and you started the books, the spiritual books, self-development, and you got out of dentistry, obviously. And you said you had do what?
I never went back.
Like, I'm never touching another tooth again. So what happened next? Where did, and here you are, you said you just came out of the closet while you're in the ICU, like, wow. And you go home and you're pretty banged up still. Took 3 years to fully recover, you said, right?
Yes.
What happened next during all of that?
Now, every day I had to go back to the hospital every day for some exercise with doctors and assisting me. But my exercise was literally like 10 steps, and then I was exhausted, right?
Wow.
I 10 steps and I'm passing out, and then enough energy, they could take me back home. It was like a very long process, like literally starting with 2 steps, falling over, and then 3 steps, 4 steps. It went so slow. I literally had nothing left. My body didn't respond. My legs didn't want to do anything. My muscles were totally, like, literally gone. I felt like I just fell on the floor every single time. And it was very frustrating. Because when you lay down that long in a bed, and my circulation was really bad, so it stops basically everything. And I had such pain. It was so painful, my legs. Like, it was like, yeah.
Did you have a spine? Was it a spinal injury or?
No, it was just my veins. But if all those blood clots are blocking your circulation in my main veins, so there was no circulation in my legs,
Oh my
and it was just awful. I was laying down with my legs up, and had a box over my legs, so nothing touched my legs. It was like, and then I had to wear those stockings, like from literally all the way from my ankles all the way up to here, to suppress my system to help the circulation. And I had to wear this for 8 years, every single day and night. It was not sexy. It was not fun. In the summer, it was sweaty and awful. And yeah, it was not a fun journey, but I'm grateful. I'm walking and running and kicking alive. And so, you just look back at what you have. But at that time, it was not fun. And I had to go first to the hospital, and then I wanted to go to the gym instead, because going to a hospital is like all those sick people. I will go back there. So I went to the gym instead and had a personal trainer, and I went really working on my body every single day. And then suddenly they asked me if I wanted to open for him another gym and run another gym and be the manager. And I said, yeah, sure. I didn't know what to do, but I knew I wanted to be around people again. And I was working out anyways, work out and help people and build a company. And I helped them open up several fitness centers around the country. But then I realized my future is not in the fitness industry. Like I want to do more. I want to do, something bigger and better. And so I was there for a few years, and then I went to corporate. Now that was also not for me.
Okay, but I again, this is the theme, right? Like you're like, I'm gonna try it. I did it. Nope, not for me. I'm not doing that. And you moved on to something else till you found what it is that is for you. And that's where you just said, and I think that people, especially young people, need to hear this. I think that we as human beings and parents make the number one biggest mistake trying to allow our kids to decide at 17 years old or 16 years old what they're going to be and what they're going to major in college and all of that. I think it's a terrible idea. I think they should get out and experience some life first and see what feels right.
I agree. Because you cannot decide at that age. What do you know? Like, you only know what your parents are doing.
That's right.
Maybe the neighbors and maybe your aunt and uncle, and that's where it stops. That is all you know, right? You have no idea what else is out there in the world. So that's why you see a lot of families that's attorney, and their son is an attorney, and then their granddaughter is an attorney. It's like passing on the karma of awfulness. And
some people like being an attorney. There are people that love being a dentist, right?
Yeah, but it's just an example, but it is that because it's an expectation, it's a tradition now in the family, right? And so you put a lot of pressure on kids by, putting them in that box. And so it's also the education system is totally wrong. We're still teaching today the same things as 30 years ago and 60 years ago. And who cares about all the things that they learn in school? They have to learn about relationships, communication, business intelligence, like things that matter in life when you move forward. Like, who cares about what happened in the 12th century on October 10th, right? Who cares?
I totally agree. I can't, I don't know. I didn't listen to that crap in school.
No, there was my lowest grades or all this stuff I didn't care about. Like, who's gonna be ever in the future about this? Like, never ever. And so I know you have to have some things you need to know about life in the world and the history, but they spend so much time on it.
Yeah. And testing you. And that's one of the, every history teacher that was just watching just left the stream. They're like, I hate these two. No.
Yeah, because they know every single date in the history of the world. Like, they're proud of that. And
high five.
Yeah, it could be, but don't expect every kid in the class getting excited about what you're teaching, because they're not.
Right.
It's not serving them in the rest of their life. So teach of the old stuff and start teaching more of the new. That's
amen. I agree. So so let's go back to, you went and you helped open up some gyms for your friend, some like gyms, right? Workout facilities.
Fitness centers.
Fitness centers. Okay.
Yeah.
And you realized that wasn't for you.
Mhm.
And then you went to, yeah, Larry just said, we have Google for all that now. It's so true. I have
Yeah.
Google, I have Siri, I have my Amazon device over here. I can't say her name because she's like, what? What do you want? But I have that. I mean, I have access to anything. Like, you want to know about the War of 1812? Let me just ask Alexa. She'll tell us all about it right now. So so you went to that, and then you went into corporate. You went right past that. What do you mean you went into corporate? What's that?
No, yeah, I didn't want to stay in the fitness industry. Like I found that was I was in the gym for a while in the fitness centers, and then I worked for Power Plate International for a while for the big. But I could not stand on it because of my history with my blood clots. So people ask me, yeah, how do you use this? And I had no idea. I cannot stand on that thing. But I was working directly with the owner and inventor of it to help him to open up Power Plate centers around the world and building his brand. But that was also not my thing.
Yeah. How long did you do that?
I think 2 years.
Did
About
you?
2 years. Yeah. So it was about 2 years the fitness center, and then 2 years Power Plate, and then I thought, no, I have to get out of this. Like, this is not where my future is. I'm not going to do this until retirement, and I don't want to tell me what to do. And I was like, what I'm going to do next? And I just resigned, and I just started to, okay, what I'm going to do next? And then I got approached by a recruiter and said, you have a great profile. And I said, great profile. I went from 3 to 3 years nothing, and then 5 years in the fitness industry, Power Plate. Like, that's not really a great. No, she said, but it is interesting. I said, it is interesting. So she asked me my story, and she says, maybe your occupation background is not that impressive for somebody in corporate, but your drive in life and getting out of things is what people are looking for certain roles. And so I had a nice conversation with her. I said, Naya, you can introduce me where you think I will fit best. And so she introduced me to a company, a financial services company in the Netherlands that did consulting in the Netherlands. And I I was invited by the CEO of that company, and she said, your resume doesn't make any sense. Recruiting company, and my friend who is working with me in this company for so long and brings all my consultants and all my people to my company, she said, I had to talk to you. Now, you better tell me why I'm now wasting my time talking to you. So that's how this whole interview. And she says, okay, just your whole resume doesn't make any sense. So tell me. So I told her my story, and she says, you're hired. After 20 minutes, she says, you're hired. And I said, I thought you said it doesn't make any sense. She says, yeah, but now it does. Because I need somebody who just has, her balls in place and get things done. So no excuses. Wow. I don't know about education or background. I need somebody who has, went through stuff in life and got out of it, because she said, I didn't tell you yet what your role is going to be. So she says, you're going to be a business unit director of a business unit that's dying. That is like in debt. It's not surviving. They had 8 business units, and the one that was not working, she says, I'm going to give you 6 months to make it work.
Oh my gosh. And this is at a recruiting?
No, it was a consulting company.
Oh, okay. I got you.
In the financial services. So they had HR, finance, IT, security, etc. So
but it started with a recruiter recruited you. Got it. Okay. Got it.
And I became the business unit director of the HR department, what was literally like, it was already dead, but she wanted to give it one more push of oxygen, and she gave me 6 months to make it work.
Did you make it work?
Yes.
Did you?
I got one account manager assigned to me, and I hired another one. And she says, you start spending money. I said, yes, I am. Because if you only give me 6 months, then I need a left and a right leg to run with me. Wow. So, and I told those 2 guys, a man and I said, guys, this is the goal. And if you hit your goal on Wednesday, you have a 4-day weekend. If you hit your goal on Thursday, you have a 3-day weekend. Hit your goal on Friday, you have a 2-day weekend. If you don't hit your goal, you don't have a weekend.
Oh, wow.
This is play this role, and we have 6 months to make it happen. And I said, I don't want to see you in the office. Business is done out in the outside world. We're just going to meet once a week in the office for an hour, and that's it. Go.
Wow.
And so they got work, and in 2 months, they start hitting their goals on Thursday and then later on Wednesday, and they kept coming back on Thursday and then on Friday. On Friday, we had lunch together and we were having drinks together and celebrating our successes. And then everybody else in the company started to look at our business unit, what was happening. Like we have 3 people, like suddenly all the numbers went up, and there were only 5 women in the whole company.
Oh my God. Wow.
And I was a totally men's world and a lot of egos and like, who's that girl? What she's gonna do? Like, and all their jokes and all that stuff. I can write a book just about that alone. So when I'm men, I'm like just one of their buddies because they make a joke and I go straight over because I heard so many of them.
Wow.
I'm like, and it was just so funny to watch what was happening and success. And I asked the CEO mentor me once a week, so I keep going the right direction, and she did, and she was really proud. And at the end of the year, we actually were back in the black numbers and making a lot of money and even outperforming some of the other business units. So wow. I did it, and I approached it from a different perspective. I had no relationship, so I just started to pick up the phone and started to dial from the phone book and knocking on doors and trying to make it work, because these men in the company didn't want to help me. Trust me.
I'm sure
you have to figure it out yourself. I said, okay, I will make it work. Watch me.
That's so incredible. And I again, another life lesson. So you took the I'll just say, for lack of better words, the pain of these people doubting you, the pain of these people making their stupid little snide remarks and jokes, and you turned it around on them and you made it work.
Yeah.
Wow. So
actions speak louder than words. So I just, guys, just keep talking. I will keep doing the work. And at the end of the year, we'll see what happens. and when you go through a lot of things, and we all have challenges in our life, but you get less distracted, when there's another challenge. And so, and I really wanted to prove myself. I had also that is inside of me. Like, if you tell me I can't, I will show you I can.
Wow.
So I always had that mentality. It started as a survival mechanism, but then it became a strength. Like, I know I can do anything if I put my head to it. And so I became very successful in the company. I then became the sales director over all the business units and really helped the company grow. And then the company got sold, and had conversations with the new CEO, becoming a CEO. And I was not aligned with that new guy. And he had plans that didn't work. He wanted to combine 8 different units to one. So all the accountants had to sell all the products. And I said, it's never going to work, because when you talk finance to a CFO, he doesn't care about security or HR. And so that's never going to work. And he said, you're really stubborn at the age of 33. And I said, I know. I said, it's not going to work. And he says, but I still have the position to run this company. And I said, okay. I said, but I'm going to give it a try for 3 months. If it doesn't work, I'm gone. So after 3 months, I was gone because it didn't work.
Right. Wow.
And the interesting thing is, I didn't see him for 10 years after I left. And I saw him at a convention, and he came up to me and he said, you were right. It didn't work, because the company went down pretty fast after all the changes he made. And he actually acknowledged my stubbornness, that it actually was right what I said. And he said, I regret that I let you go. And, maybe I should have listened. It was a lesson for me to do things differently in my other companies. He owned a ton of companies. So, sometimes they get arrogant and ego gets in the way, and they think they know it all. And, it's not that I didn't know if I was right, but my feeling was like, it doesn't make any sense. Right. So,
right. So, one of the things that I can tell, excuse me, that I love about you already is you have a you could, I mean, a lot of people would have been resentful towards that guy, and you don't have an ounce of resentment towards him, do you?
No, nobody. Because I truly believe you go through things in life that are just your life lessons, and then you meet people to grow and make choices, and you can go left or right. And sometimes left is the best decision, sometimes, but as long as you follow what you feel is right for you,
Right.
then and sometimes you make mistakes, and that's called life. Like
Yeah.
I made the right decision, and I also realized, like, if I make so much money for all of you guys, I better start my own company. And so I resigned, and it was 2008 when the market collapsed. I resigned and said, guys, I got this. I'm becoming an entrepreneur.
Good idea.
Great. Yeah, actually, it was a great idea because,
Was
it was a time of opportunity.
Yep.
And so, right, like it is right now. Like
Mhm.
this is just an amazing time right now. The opportunity is huge.
It's massive.
For
Massive.
the people who see it, right? And it's only for a few, but I'm going to be part of the few. So
Yeah.
I started my own consulting company, and I wanted to do my leadership retreats. I started in 2008 also my transformational leadership retreats to Spain 4 times a year for women, to help them transition, to step into their power, and start living the life they were dreaming of, instead of listening to their husband or parents and just being locked in a situation that was not serving their life purpose. So I started doing that and started my consulting company, and I was basically a broker for consultants who were assigned to projects at bigger companies like Shell and Unilever and IBM and some big banks, etc.
Wow.
It made a nice income, and it started right in 2008, 2009, 2010. It was blooming, and so they're still doing projects. They
Yeah.
were hiring less people, but I had built up a lot of credibility in the industry by my success stories. So, and people knew me, and I had a lot of consultants who followed me when I left. Of course, I got sued, had to go through a whole lawsuit that I left. And then I told the company, guys, you're a company with 800 people, and I'm all by myself. And you're scared that I am going to take over your whole business. Like, thank you for the compliment.
Right.
That I'm stronger than all 800 of you. But, this is ridiculous that you're suing me. So I highly recommend just withdraw from this thing and just move forward and just keep your head up straight. And, and then after I told them that, they withdraw the lawsuit, and they realized that 800 people against one is not really making any sense.
Wow, that's incredible. So you did very, very well. So what happened from there with do you still have the consulting company?
No, I met Sherry in 2013 in Amsterdam. So that's where my life got another big change. So
Wow.
Sherry spoke at a conference in Amsterdam, and I was there. Les Brown, Robert Kiyosaki, and Sherry was also one of the speakers. And I signed up for a product for the bank system, and I became a customer. And then 2 weeks later, we had a training in Amsterdam with everybody who bought at the convention.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be the leader of Europe. I saw really big things for bank at that time. And I met Sherry, and I thought, I'm going to bring this to the Netherlands and to Europe. So I asked her at the convention, can we have dinner? And she said, do you mean, can we have dinner? I said, yeah, let's have dinner in Amsterdam. And she looked at me like, nobody ever asked that. I said, no, but I do. You have to eat anyway. And I want to talk to you because I want to open up Europe. And so she said yes with her business partner. And I was there with my girlfriend. So the four of us went to dinner. And I told her I want to open up Europe. And then she said, just come to the training first. I said, okay. So I came to the 2-day training. And then I asked Sherry at the end of the training, I said, when are you leaving Europe? She says, now it's Thursday night. I'm leaving Monday morning. I said, if I can get people in the room, are you willing to do a presentation for me so I can get my bank business started in the Netherlands?
Yeah.
And she says, maybe. And I said, what is the maybe? And she says, now it depends how many people you get in the room. Is it 5? I just go to the Anne Frank house and have fun. Is it 50? Then I will do it.
Wow.
And I said, okay, 50. I will do it.
You said I'll get 50 people.
Yes. So I told her, can you do on Sunday afternoon a presentation? And she said yes, for 50 people. But, of course, me with my big mouth, I was driving home on Thursday night. And I realized I only have Friday, Saturday. And then on top of that, in the Netherlands, Europe, the weekend is the weekend. Like people just go sports, groceries, hang out with their family. They're not going to a presentation. They're not going, and especially not Sunday afternoon. And some people have to drive for 3-4 hours. Like so I started picking up the phone on Friday all day and sending out emails and text messages. And again on Saturday. And I had a bed and breakfast from a friend of mine who was working with me at the time. And we organized it together and we filled up that room with 54 people on a Sunday afternoon.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
That is so incredible. And so was there like those 54 people, did they have to sign up for something?
No, yeah, at the end, they didn't know that.
Right. Okay. So how many people out of 54 signed up?
I only know I did 40,000 in sales.
From one day.
From one minute presentation.
In 3 days, from Thursday until Sunday afternoon.
Thursday night, like 8 p.m., I left Amsterdam. So I had 2 days to invite.
And made 40,000 in sales.
Yeah. So actually, Sherry did it for me, but I had the people with the credit cards.
Right. That is so awesome.
And I, of course, had a kickstart. And then I had to do something I'd never done before because I asked Sherry, and so what now what? And she said, you just do a presentation once a week. I said, a presentation? What do you mean a presentation? So she gave me a PowerPoint. And she said, just, do a presentation on Thursday night and see how many people show up. So that was on Sunday. 4 days later, I had my first presentation in my living room, connecting my laptop to my television screen. I had 20 people in my living room, and I signed up another, I think, at $20,000 in sales that Thursday night. And I started to do it every Thursday night, and I did $500,000 in sales in 6 months.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I am.
That's how you kick off the European division.
Yeah, that's how I opened up 5 countries in 6 months.
Oh my God. Wow.
And so after 2 months, I called Sherry and I said, you have to come back to Europe because I'm not a certified trainer. I'm not allowed to teach this, but I have people lining up. And she says, I said, how many people do you need? So she said, about 40 trainers and maybe 80 customers or so. And I said, okay, I have that done by February. And so she came at the end of January to do the training. We had 120 people in the room. At that time, it was the biggest event in the history of the company. And then we had, I think, 50 or 60 people coming to trainer certification. Europe. And Europe was on the map. And then we traveled for 30 days together through Europe. So to the Netherlands, Belgium, to the UK, Sweden, and Switzerland. That's where we ended in Geneva to go skiing. And then we fell in love. And on that trip. And then okay, Houston, we got a problem. And so then we started dating, between the US and the Netherlands. What, of course, was inconvenient. And I will never forget, we were sitting in Geneva in Switzerland, overlooking Lake Geneva. And it was one of our first dates. And then we realized, and Sherry asked me this very serious question. She says, before we get...
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Could you please repeat it?
When I say Sherry, that thing... Oh my gosh. So she says, okay, I'm a speaker on all the stages, and are you willing to be in my shadow? And I said, yes, as long as you're willing to be in mine. And so,
oh my God.
And so, I'm not jealous. Of course,
I love that.
Talk to you and take pictures and whatever. I'm happy with that. But people want to take pictures with me too for different reasons. And that's okay too.
Wow. Holy crap. So, what happened from there? Did you move to the US immediately, or what happened?
So we met in October 2013.
Okay.
In February 2014, We fell in love and started dating.
Wow.
Then in July 2014, Sherry asked me to marry her, and I said yes.
Wow.
Then we got married August 8, 2015.
Oh
And I
my
moved to
gosh.
the United States in November 2014.
Okay. And so now you both run the company together.
Yeah.
And
Also a whole gap. You go real fast right now.
what's that?
You just jumped over a 5-year period.
Oh, did it? Well, hold on. We're gonna get there. I'm gonna back up. But like, did this book already exist?
No, that book came out in 2017.
Okay. So you were involved in this project. Um and by the way, it's I haven't read it yet. I got it last night, literally. But it's phenomenal. I went and did my bank code and I was like, it nailed it, like perfectly nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane.
It is insane. You know, when I started, there were only CDs. I had CDs.
Wow.
And then I could become a trainer. So that's what I did. But then when I met Sherry, we started to develop the technology. I moved here and I had to apply for my green card. And then we got married. I didn't see my family for almost 2 years in the Netherlands because I couldn't leave the country.
Oh.
And I was like, it was a culture shock too, because I sold my home, my business, my car, my furniture, everything I had, and I gave everything away, but didn't sell. And I came just with 2 suitcases of clothes. So I started literally a whole brand new life in a different country with a different language.
Wow.
And the culture was really different in the beginning for me. I'm totally adjusted right now, but it was shocking to me, like coming from Amsterdam, where it's so open and being gay or straight doesn't matter, black or white doesn't matter. Like Amsterdam was where actually the first gay marriage was and the first gay pride. So I grew up in an environment like, you know, I don't care what color of the rainbow you are, as long as you have a heart that beats and you're loving, you're great, right? So then I moved here, and a lot of people were like weird around being gay, and like I'm like, oh my gosh, you're really 30 years behind here in the United States. Like, you know, people wake up. So I started to have this, like I said, Sherry, I don't want to go through this closet story again. So, you know, I'm gonna be me, and if they like it or not, it's not my problem, it's theirs. And so I had that attitude, but it was not easy. Like I never experienced that before. So it was just, and then being in the same-sex relationship in a women-owned company, there's a lot of sometimes weird comments coming our way.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Wow. In 2020.
Yeah,
That's crazy. So you got over here, you said you guys got married in 2015?
Yeah.
But you got here in 2014.
Yeah.
Okay. So in 2014, you come over here, you had sold all of your stuff and moved over here.
Yeah. Now, when I moved here, yeah, that's where it gets interesting. Like Sherry and I are totally in love, totally happy.
Yeah.
But she was in business with the wrong guy. And I met him and I told Sherry, I don't like this dude. My gut is just had all these alarm bells going off. And I said, I don't trust this guy. But I just moved here. So that was in November. But it started to really bother me by January. And then February it got worse. And in March, I gave her an ultimatum. If you keep working with this dude and we're not getting married, then I go back to the Netherlands. Wow. And she said, are you kidding me? I said, no, it's just an ultimatum. Because that man is just screwing you in every hole of your body and you don't see it. And he knows I know. So that's why he's treating me bad. And he was hitting on me and just weird things were happening. I said, Sherry, I cannot do this. Like, this is not the life I want to have. And so, she chose me, obviously.
Good choice.
Good choice. So
Good job to Sherry for that choice.
Smart woman.
Yeah.
So we got rid of the guy, and I figured out that money got disappeared and put us in a very financial tough situation. Basically, we had to rebuild the company from scratch in 2015. And so we started brand new, and we rebranded the company and started to work on technology and a different certification program for our trainers. And we really evolved the company to where it is right now over the past 4-5 years almost. And it was a really tough decision, but it was the best decision. And sometimes you have to make tough decisions, right?
Yeah.
I learned if my gut is like ringing,
Trust it.
I better listen to it. So,
Trust it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we all go through those lessons in life,
we do.
don't we? So, wow. And what year was the ultimatum that you like? Was that in?
That was March 2015.
Okay. So you guys have taken it in a totally different direction, and I want to point out a few things that I think are really good life lessons that you've covered here. Number one, I guess it didn't really matter what you were doing, like what your job or your career choice was. When you decided that you were going to make something work, you made it work. And when you decided it's not going to work anymore, you were gone. Like, I'm out. And it doesn't sound like there was a lot of time between decisions.
No, I'm very much like, life is short. Like, if you have that experience at 23, you realize how short life can be, and that you never know if you have another day. And I think most people just live life and let days pass and years pass and just having a job and paying their bills. But it's too short to do things you don't like or not love. Or sometimes it's great for a certain phase in your life, and then you wake up one day and think, like, I'm sick and tired of this, I want to do something else. And then you just have to listen to that, because otherwise you become miserable. And a lot of people go through that at the age of 40 or 50, where they either go through divorce or get sick, or some lose a loved one, or whatever happens, where they get this shock moment in life and they wake up and now they're gonna turn things around. But why not doing this at a younger age? And it starts with the school system that's totally messed up, but also there's no awareness for personal development or getting connected to who you really are. So we just all walk the same path, and then we wake up at the age of 40. Most people are in the 40s when they wake up, and I woke up at 23. Wow. So sometimes people tell me, like, you're 45, but you have already a life of somebody of 75.
Right. True though.
As long as I don't start looking like 75 or good.
Yeah. I'd say you got a long time before that. But, I think, and you talked about you had 2 near-death experiences, meaning you died.
Mm-hmm.
And you went over and you came back. And I have a couple of other friends that have had near-death experiences that it woke them up, like shocked them into like, no, I don't mean shocked. They came back going, okay, I know now I have a way bigger purpose.
Yeah.
And you experienced that.
Yeah. Wow. I didn't know what it was because they're not that clear, but it was clear that I had to make a big shift in my life. And it took me years to come to the path of becoming an entrepreneur and doing my retreats, and then, starting living the life on my terms and not on the terms of other people, especially your parents or friends or partners who all have an opinion. And it's so important to love yourself and trust your gut and make decisions what makes you happy, whatever it is. You're not here to please other people. Like Sherry and I always tell each other, to me, you come first. So I take care of myself first. I do my meditation, my exercise, walk, polo, and then it's time for Sherry and the company. Because if I don't take myself first, like I don't get that time, because as soon as I start working, it never ends. Right. So then in the evening, it's gone, like day is gone. And so, I became very aware of life and very sensitive to surround myself with the right people and do the things I love to do. And if I don't like it or love it anymore, I'm just going to move on to something else. And I'm not attached what that's going to be. But actually with Sherry, I've never been so long committed to one thing.
That's so awesome.
And it is because it's really a big purpose. Like we're really on a big mission. And so I love every angle of it and everything we do, and we change people's lives. So, and I still do my retreats to Spain. I made that mandatory. I told Sherry, you can take away everything from me, but not my retreats.
So I still do that. How many times?
I do 4 of them a year on Laguna Beach, and then 1 a year in Spain.
No kidding. And how many, and this is for women only, right?
Spain is women only. Laguna Beach is mixture,
Oh,
men and women. Couple. We do a couples retreat once a year, and
wow.
and then 3 a year for basically most of our trainers sign up for a coaching program, and part of the coaching program is 2 retreats in Laguna Beach in our home.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's so awesome. So wow. Let me ask you this. So right now, there are all across the, not just in the US, all across the planet, there are people suffering right now.
yeah,
We're in this lockdown phase globally, which is first time in the history of the world.
yeah,
So and there are people that are scared. There are people that don't have any money at all. And I've been there, man. I mean, I've been there many times, right? So, like, those people right now that are stuck, that are freaked out, that have no money, they have no credit, they have no way to get money, but they have a little bit of hope left. What do you say to them? What do you say to help them get through that? Because, I mean, first off, I want to say this, like what you told me about the Catholic Church and what you overcame with that is just number one, heart wrenching. And number two, the fact that you like, you're radiant, you glow happiness, and
yeah,
you do. And you can't glow happiness like that if you're still pissed off at people in the past, right?
yeah.
And you're not. I can tell you're not harboring this resentment. It's amazing to me. So, those people that are stuck right now, that are freaking out, that don't know what to do, what do you say to them to help them get through this time?
No, yeah, it's actually a great moment in time because when you're rock bottom, you cannot get lower. Like when you hit rock bottom, you're basically on the way bouncing back up. You're
Right.
already on the way back up, and so the thing is gonna just connect with whatever your source is, right? And even if you don't believe in anything, start believing in something. And so connect with your heart and your soul and just start talking, even if it's to the clouds, call the universe and just share your message. And don't ask for things that are not realistic, but you can really ask for great things to get support and be open for any message. And there's so many great opportunities. I truly believe for people who want to work and who see opportunity, there is really opportunity right now. And when I also lost everything and bounced back from it, and when I was in the hospital and came back home, I lost my job. I had no income on top of that, like, and I couldn't work. Like I was literally surviving
Right.
on $800 a month, and even my rent was already 1,200. So
Mm.
I ate all my savings and had to borrow money, and horrible. And so, but when you're in that place, it's a place where you can bounce back bigger and better than ever before. And that's what you have to start believe. And that's the hardest when you're in that dark place, is try to see that light and just sit down and be grateful for 3 things a day. Sherry and I, before we go to bed every night, we share the 3 things we're grateful for that
Wow.
day. And so start being grateful for being healthy, or having a partner, or having your kids, or a dog, or that you're alive, and that be grateful for something. Grateful
Right.
you have food, and thank God or the universe, or whatever your belief system is, but be thankful and grateful, because when you're thankful and grateful, you open up for opportunities and possibilities. Get connected with people in your network. Start a home-based business right now. That is the future. People need to work from home. There's so many network marketing companies growing and blooming right now.
Yeah.
Our company is growing and blooming because we have virtual training and technology. Like, people are jumping on us right now because we have that in place, and every entrepreneur and business owner needs what we have.
What is the website address again?
If they want to crack their code, that's how they should start.
Yeah.
It's like bp.crackmycode.com.
bp.crackmycode.com. That's it. Okay. I want to have it scroll across the bottom again.
Yeah.
Wow.
So less than 90 seconds, they get an amazing report about themselves, how they operate in their code, and how they can communicate more effectively with the other codes, with other personality types. So it's my message is like, find that little piece of hope inside of you and just grab onto it and make it bigger by being grateful and connecting with positive people. Everybody who is dark and negative, you have to delete them from social media, get them out of your phone, never talk to them again. You want to get leveled up with people who are positive and level up with the most successful people you know.
Yeah.
And as long as you show that you are hungry and that you want to work and that you want to do something bigger in the world, it will come to you, the opportunity. And just if you just look around you, and even your friends maybe offered you many times an opportunity, you always said no.
Yeah.
And maybe you just have to go back and say, yes, I'm going to take it. And most companies right now, network marketing companies, you don't have to pay an affiliate fee or independent contractor fee at all right now. You can sign up for free and start selling their products. Wow. And so there is always opportunity. And you just have to be willing to see it and just align with a company where you feel aligned with the product. Like, don't start selling something you're not passionate about, because people feel that. But when you're passionate about whatever it is, if it's stock trading, or it's essential oils, or it's weight loss products, or it's like whatever it is, whatever it is, just do the work. There is no time for excuses right now. And the only way to get out of it is take massive action. You're not going to bed until you are proud of every action step you take a day. Like Sherry and I are massive action every single day.
Yeah.
We have phone calls from 8 to 8 every single day, Zoom calls, opportunity calls, talk to companies, helping people, doing free training, Zoom call, webinars with leaders of companies and teams for free, just to help them, to give them free training and content. Yep. And just help them to see the hope and the faith and the light, and just give them something. Sometimes it's very simple. People just need to hear from somebody else it's possible. And it is possible. I know it's possible. And Sherry lived in a storage unit for 18 months. And I had to go to a dark place and had no money and recovering from hell. And I came out of it better, bigger, and stronger. And that is the opportunity you have right now. And you have to choose, because it's a choice. I truly believe everything in life is a choice. So if you're in this dark place, choose the light. Choose the path of faith and hope, and look for that opportunity. They're all over social media. Your friends are probably in a business. You don't even know they were in that business. Just reach out to them. What are you doing? Do you know something that just pick up the phone and call people and get to work? Take massive action. Take no for prison. Just don't take no for an answer, and just keep going, because you will get traction and you can come out of this stronger than you were before this whole lockdown, and you succeed, because the work you do right now will pay off when we come out of this. And the good news is only a few people will do the work. The rest of the people are going to watch Netflix for a few months.
Right.
And hope all going to pass and everything is going to be back to normal. It's not going to be back to where it was.
No.
So really have to do some work, personal development, read books, start a home-based business, get savvy on your tech, start using tools and technology that can help you grow faster. And, even if you have a little bit money, don't spend it on Starbucks or on junk food. Spend it on your growth and on building your business. And that is I think the core of the message is massive action is actually the only option. There is excuses. People say, I don't have time. Yeah, that excuse doesn't exist anymore. Like, you have all the time in the world right now. And money, no money, there are a lot of opportunities you don't need money for. You just have to work hard and take action. And I cannot say it often enough. I do it a lot on my Facebook lives. My message is very clear. Like, guys, it's really not the time to have go into the pity party. Just thank the pity party for showing up and say, I'm ready for another party, and just start your own party in a positive way. Right?
Right. I love that. So my wife just said standing ovation. I agree. That was unbelievable. So, I love it. You guys have opportunities, don't you?
Yeah.
For people to join in and make money and teach what you like. there's so much opportunity right now. And I love all the people that have said for the last 20 years, I'm not going to do a network marketing business. I will never work from home. I'm just too busy for that. Like,
and
you can work from home now.
Everybody's working from home. We are not a network marketing company, but we serve the industry. We work with a lot of network marketing companies and the corporate team, and then with leaders and company. It's a great business model, and right now it can be your solution, and you can make a lot of money in these kind of companies, and you can make a lot of money with our company too if you're excited about what we do. If you want to work with this crazy one, then just let me know.
Everybody would love to work with you, I'm sure. Esther, you're amazing.
Not everyone can, because I'm very direct, I'm very honest, I'm straightforward, and not everybody likes that.
Right, that's true. They don't. Well, don't be, if you see something wrong with me, don't tell me.
There's nothing wrong. When I say things, it's coming from a place of love to help you get better. And, in America, people like to sugarcoat. They put sugar in all the food, and then also sugarcoat the message.
Amen.
Like, there's too much sugar here in the United States in many ways.
You're right, though. You're right.
And I believe shorten the message, be clear. You don't have to sugarcoat it, make it bigger and better than it is. Just say the way it is. And that's what I always will do. And sometimes Sherry says, "Oh my gosh, did you really say that?" I said, "Yeah, I just did."
Wow. That's awesome. So Robert Wall says she's already coded you, Ken Walls. She already knows my code. I know. So look, I think the world of you, and I think that what you're doing and what you and Sherry are doing is amazing. And I truly believe in what you're doing. So, I thank you for coming on here and sharing your story and your authenticity. You're just real. You're just real. I
truly believe that people have to be more real. Share your story, be authentic, because that is what people are going to buy. People buy you. They're not buying a product. People don't buy bank. They buy me and Sherry. And the product is a great byproduct because it really works. But, I get messages this week. I'm getting messages from people that are so grateful for the bank system because it's saving their marriage right now in the lockdown. Instead of getting in fights and arguments and beating the heck out of each other, they actually go back to understanding the dynamics of the different codes in their family and households right now. It's like,
wow,
people are really waking up that it really makes sense to know the bank code of everybody in your household.
I honestly, when I went, I didn't know what to expect. And after I interviewed Sherry, I went and looked at, and I'm like, oh my God, it nailed me. Like, it was perfect. It's amazing. So, all right. Hey, do you want to give everybody a quick view that stayed on here?
Okay. Are you ready, guys?
Check this out. You're not going to believe it.
I'm really happy right now. And this is the view, but the lights.
Oh, there. Look at that. That's the Pacific Ocean.
That is Laguna Beach, Pacific Ocean.
Oh my gosh. Amazing. So that is what hard work, determination, grit, not giving up, not taking no for an answer, and being
trust me.
What?
People say, "You're so lucky." And I said, "Yeah, I'm so lucky." It was an overnight success. It took me 20 years to get here, with not giving up and fighting and grinding and starting over again and starting all over again and losing it again and starting all over again. And, we're still grinding. Like, we're still a young company, but it's so fulfilling if you can change people's life with a great product. Like, we have an essential solution for a real problem in the world.
Yeah.
That's don't know how to communicate, they don't know how to connect, and they don't know how to sell and make more money. So we have the yin and the yang, both sides of the equation, the business and the life, and this is where it comes together.
Oh, that's so awesome. I love it. Thank you so much, Esther, for being on here and being so amazing and transparent and real.
Thank you.
Just love it. Thank you. And thank you to everybody who's been on here and shared this and commented, and you're amazing. You guys are absolutely. It makes me sit here and I know other people got to feel this, like, wow, like, how do I get there? How do I get to that level? I know that everybody wants to be there. Everybody does want to be there.
Yeah, just don't give up. You have to be open to keep learning and not arrogant and thinking you know it all. Like, just keep learning and growing and become, I always say tomorrow I want to be better than today. And today I'm going to be better than yesterday. And that's how I'm wired. And I always choose positive. I have moments that I want to say, F you all. And, and at the same time, it's just a split and it never takes long because life is too short to be negative and dark. And so it's a way of living. It's a choice. And we all have challenges and it will never stop. We have small challenges and big challenges. And right now we're in a lockdown, but we're not in World War II. We're locked up in like Anne Frank for 700 days in a closet. You're freaking laying on your couch watching Netflix. What are you complaining about? You've been wishing for this for a long time and now you have it. And now, it's also not that great. I agree, but there's so much opportunity. Get your Zoom set up, get your internet set up, work on your social media profile, jump on opportunities, and just do the work. Take massive action, and it'll be beautiful when you come out of this. It's going to be an amazing world.
And go to bp.crackmycode.com. You won't believe that. That is so amazing.
And read the book because it's going to be a game changer for your relationship and your business.
And read the book. Why They Buy.
Yeah, no kidding. It's just at whytheybuy.com. It's very simple.
It is. And I got the cards too. I told you.
You need cards with it. It's gonna change. Coach your kids, coach your spouse, coach your neighbors.
I love it. Esther, thank you so much. Thank you to everybody who's been on here. Don't hang up on me, Esther, but I'm going to end the live stream. So thank you guys. Thank you, Esther.
Thank you, everyone.